I had been married 30 years at the time, and I thought, well, we're not going to make it.
Okay, before I cry.
Can't you just be gay?
No, I tried it. I tried my best. I can't.
Do the best you can.
Let's stop there. Hi everyone, it is Samantha Lux. Welcome back to my channel. As you can see from the title, my mom is going to be joining me today. A lot of my viewers are either trans people like me who may not really know how their parents are going to react, what the transition is going to be like with their parents. Maybe they're scared to tell their parents, or their parents have trans kids themselves and they're afraid of what's going to come when their kid transitions. So yeah, for today's video, I prepared a bunch of questions for my mom. I'm going to bring her on in a minute, literally like 10 seconds for you probably. And we're gonna chit chat. I'm gonna introduce you guys to my mom. I post new videos twice a week here on my channel, so if you guys are not yet subscribed, go ahead and do that right now. I'll wait for you, go ahead. Are you done? Thank you very much. Also, a huge announcement, I am starting a gaming channel. I've already started the gaming channel. I'm gonna be playing video games and streaming multiple times a week, so make sure that you guys follow my gaming channel right down in the description, and maybe let me know what video games you would want to watch me play. I can't wait. It's gonna be so fun. Also, make sure to follow me over on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all those different places to keep us up to date with me as possible. And final thing, I have a Patreon. So if you guys like the work that I do here on my channel and you would like to donate, the link for that is down below as well. But yeah, with all of that said, with no further ado, let's get right into this video and let's bring out my mother. Okay, here we are. I'm here with my mumsy.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I think you've been on my channel before, right? Maybe like once or twice, like in my college dorm, and we had to sleep in my little twin bed.
I do.
I think you were in that little college moment, that little vlog.
It was. We did a live stream together, too. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
We did the facial
We
masks.
did a drunk little face mask video. I think I took that video down because you told me to, but it's fine. It's fine. I wanted to bring her on for the first official time and have her answer some questions for you guys. She has been a superhero throughout my transition. Like, I honestly don't think I could have done this without you. So my first question for Miss Mumsy is, what was your favorite part of my transition?
I think it was when you came out of your top construction surgery. And when you woke up, you were a little bit drugged, of course. But when you woke up, the smile on your face was like nothing I had ever seen. So from a memory perspective, that and traveling together because your surgeons were far away, but from a memory perspective, that's probably my favorite.
That's so freaking cute.
Yeah.
So just like seeing, you know, the happiness that's come over my face since transitioning.
It was like seeing you for the first time. It was like looking at a newborn baby for the first time. That's what that joy looked like.
Oh. That's so cute. I mean, yeah, I was drugged out for that, so I don't remember any of that. Obviously, I remember waking up in pain and being like, help, SOS, but it's cool to like see it from the other side.
You must remember that first time, I think when the doctor came to the hotel room and took the bandages off and you actually saw your top for the first time. That was pretty cool too.
Yeah, I do remember that. That one I was less drugged for, so that's good.
Yeah. I think there's a picture out there somewhere of that.
You
had a red shirt on.
It was a bra.
It was a
It was a
bralette.
little bralette. Yep.
It was a bralette. It was.
I think there's a picture on my Instagram of me in that little bralette. I'll put it right here. Move your head. So the next question that I have for you is, did you know? Did you know that I was trans before I came out? Like, did you have any hints? Did you were like, that's a girl. That's a woman. What were your thoughts?
So the answer to that question is no, I did not. I knew always that there was something different about you as a kid. I assumed, because I didn't have any other language, that Sam would be gay. So as Sam was growing up and growing their hair long and wanting to wear nail polish, which I said had to be black because boys only wear black, and jewelry, I thought, yeah, I'm pretty sure this is going to be a gay kid. And you asked if I knew. I kind of asked myself, how would I have known?
Yeah, I didn't know either.
I didn't know what a transgender person was. I don't even think I knew what the T was in LGBTQ, so I don't know how I would have known because of the way we're taught and the way things are constructed for us, I guess.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like I said, I didn't know either, so I don't blame you for not knowing. Imagine you knew before I was, and you're like, you're a trans. Let's get you some moans.
Yeah.
Then the conservatives would love you. The transphobes would love you.
Oh yeah, they would.
So kind of along the same lines of like, did you know, all that kind of stuff. What was your first reaction to me coming out as trans? Tell me the tea. What went through your head?
So I remember a different story than Sam remembers, and that's 2 other whole YouTube videos that we could do. And what I remember is Sam coming bouncing into my room with a smile on her face. She remembers.
I remember crying.
So it's very different memories. It's weird how our brains do that. And I remember those 6 words, right, that changed our lives, which were, Mom, I'm not gay, I'm transgender.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny that you remember it as a happy moment and I remember it as very emotional for me. You know what I mean? I remember it just being like overwhelming and I was crying because it was just so emotional. But in your interpretation, it was like a happy thing.
It was because I thought you would be okay, right? So my first reaction, don't do this at home, parents, right? This is not what you should say is, can't you just be gay? Because that would be so much easier. But maybe it was easier for me, right? Not for Sam. And clearly the answer was, of course, not.
Right, no. I tried it. I tried my best. I can't. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
it just didn't work. It didn't even look right. Anyway,
damn.
So what went through my brain? That's a really good question. I'm sure other parents have experienced this too. All I ever wanted was happiness and health and safety. That's it. That's my job, right? To make sure I provide an environment that my kids are happy, healthy, and safe in. So when Sam told me she was transgender, which I spent probably the next 5 days Googling because I had no idea what she really meant. But her whole life flashed in front of my eyes. Will she find love? Will she find happiness? Will she get married? Will she have children? How am I going to keep her safe? So all of that in this really, really, really fast forward went through my mind. Super scary.
Yeah, I feel like so many parents out there will relate to that. It's just really scary. I feel like that's what you're kind of hardwired to do is protect your kid and like.
Most of us are, yeah.
I mean, I'd hope you are, but
yeah. So when we decided to have kids, and we have 3, we never found out if they were boys or girls. Sam was actually a surprise twice. And I never cared. All I wanted was them to be happy and healthy. And what I said was, I'm going to love my children. I didn't say, I'm going to love my children if they're blonde. Ooh. Or I'm going to love them if they're blue-eyed. Or if they're tall or smart, etc., etc., etc.
Or to be more explicit, like, I wouldn't love my kid if they were this. I wouldn't, you would never say that.
Right. My promise as a parent is to love my children. It's as simple as that. So when Sam told me that she was transgender, I had to figure it out. That was my job. That's it. That's my job.
Cute. Well, you definitely figured it out. I mean, like I said, you've been a superhero throughout this. So.
Well, you slap me a lot, so.
Oh my God. Take that back on camera. I do not.
She doesn't really slap, but
she's like, I don't. Please, blink twice if you need out.
Okay, so let me take that back. She does not slap me upside the head, but she does correct me quite often, so I've learned quite a bit.
Yeah, that's what I thought you said. Next question.
What I said. Okay, next question.
Okay, this one's a little bit intense. Are you ready? Are you prepared? Take a breath. Take a sip. You need a drink?
No,
a little vodka? No, I'm just kidding.
I'm good.
Okay, so what, if any, was your biggest regret being a parent of somebody who's transitioned?
So there are 2 kinds of regrets, and I'll tell you the easier one to say out loud first. I wish that I had one that I watched YouTube, because I didn't in the day, right? Or we even had YouTube. I wish that I had seen people like you, Sam. So maybe I would have recognized that there's something about this child that is different. So one regret is I wish I had known earlier, but I couldn't have. So I don't.
And also, like, that's not like your place. You know what I mean? Like, a kid needs to realize it and come into their own and all that kind of stuff.
Other regrets. You probably heard language in our household that you shouldn't have. That was probably homophobic. So I do regret that. But my biggest regret is that I decided that I needed to be the one to handle all of this all by myself. And I didn't tell anybody. I didn't tell my other children. I thought, I'm not going to cry, I'm going to do it. I thought it was going to be the last year of my marriage. I had been married, oh my goodness, 30 years at the time. And I thought, well, we're not going to make it through this. And so for 3 months, I didn't tell my husband. I told our pediatrician, and only our pediatrician. I remember pulling on the side of the road and talking to her, and her saying, Irene, you gotta tell him. You can't keep, living this by yourself. You need help, right? You need help. And I remember when I finally did tell my husband, he of course reacted. It's shocking. It's hard to understand all of those things. But his response was, I love my kids. That was it. I love my children. So my regret is I should have known that. I should have known that that's how could I have not have known this man that I had been with for over 30 years, that I've watched with this kid for 30 years, wouldn't have just gotten it. So I think some of it was to protect him, right? I had to be sure that we were right, that Sam was trans, before I brought him into this society of people who knew. So there was a lot of stuff that got in my way, but that is probably my biggest regret, and the one that can make me cry. Yeah.
Oh, made me tear up a little bit.
Thinking for that long that, wow, this might be the last year of my marriage.
That's scary.
Like, how does that even get in your brain?
But
it did.
It's scary, yeah. I mean, I feel like we've said, this is kind of uncharted territory, Mm-hmm. Like there's no blueprint online of how to transition with your parents and or how to transition with your kid and how to go about it with a spouse who might not be accepting, or you don't know if they're accepting. It's heavy.
And parents have to transition too, right? So we are transitioning from raising a son, socializing a son. We also have to come out, right? So we have to tell our friends and our neighbors and the people we work with and our other children, right? So it's more than just this little bubble, right? It's a world that we have to then introduce Samantha to,
right.
And them to her.
Right. And I feel like that's kind of a regret that I have also, is kind of not giving you more patience. I remember when we were going through the beginning processes and you were taking everything on for yourself and not kind of asking for help in those ways. It was frustrating for me too, because I was like, why don't you just get it? I get it. I know who I am. You should be here too. In hindsight, everybody has to transition. Like she said, it's not just a me thing. Of course, it's a bit more intense for me maybe, but it's a process for everybody.
It is. Wait. Makeup?
Now you see where I get it from, right?
Where's the makeup lady? Can you put this in?
You're like, you don't have a budget for the makeup? So yeah, I mean, this one kind of goes off the last question too. I mean, we were very, very lucky I was very lucky that both of my parents were very, very accepting, even if it took, one of them a little bit more time. But do you have any advice for somebody who doesn't know if their spouse is going to be accepting, or maybe they know that their spouse isn't accepting? What would you say to a parent like that?
Try and reset their brains to think about
their... Brainwash the
I brainwash them. What I try and do is reset and ask them to think about their child,
right,
versus thinking about themselves. Because usually, let's think about people. They're thinking about themselves, right? Oh my goodness.
What's it going to mean for me if I have a gay kid, if my kid is trans, blah, blah, blah.
What is church going to say to me? And I'm very religious,
Which is fine. We love the religious people.
Very, very fine. But if your community doesn't accept your child, whoever you pray to accepts your child, you need to change the community you're in. Your kid comes first. So with parents that may not be completely supportive, whether it's one or both, there are some things that really, really work for us. One was talking to our pediatrician. One was getting a really good gender therapist that will work with you as a family so you understand more about gender identity. And one of the things that was a turning point for us was the Barbara Walters special on trans children.
Yeah, that OG video. I remember that.
Yeah, it's super old. I think Jazz Jennings was in it as a teeny tiny tot.
A teeny tot?
Teeny tiny tot. And I remember at the end, there was this little person with this curly hair and these rectangle-shaped glasses. And my husband and I watched it together. And he said, oh my, that little girl, she was a trans girl, looks just like Sam.
So it's about seeing those stories that it's a
and
happy,
my response was,
okay.
That little girl is like Sam, right? And so not being alone is really, really helpful, right? There are times that there will be someone that is not going to come along. It could be a grandmother, it could be your best friend, it could be your husband. Do the best you can to show your kid that you support them, right? Maybe because of legalities, you can't get everything they need for them before they're 18 and can make their own decisions, but you can support them and love them and tell them that you're always going to be there for them. The road might just be a little bit longer. Oh. How good is that?
That was great.
Okay, good.
Okay, before I cry, next question. Okay, so the last question is, and I mean, if you guys have more questions, you love answering questions, you love chit-chatting, so feel free to leave any more questions down below. Maybe we can even film another video. I told her I want to do her makeup, like this makeup, I want to put this on you. So leave more questions, and maybe next time I'll do her makeup and answer some questions.
Oh, it's gonna
That
be
sounds fun, right?
fun.
So fun.
Oh, yeah.
She's like, great.
That's going to be real fun. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So what do you got?
The last question is, what was the biggest challenge during this whole process? Like, what has been the hardest thing for you?
So I would have thought in the beginning of our journey that the biggest challenge would be that I was losing a son and grieving the loss of a son and going to have to welcome a daughter, right? So that loss of a son. That is not the case. The kid is the same kid, a little grown up now, but the kid
Better hair.
is the kid,
Sorry.
always was the kid. So what I thought was going to be the hardest for me was that. What has been the hardest for me and still is today, one, it's real hard to watch your kid go through a lot of surgeries, right? So that was really hard. But today, this lingering, constant, every minute of everyday fear for the safety of my child. And that doesn't go away. And it's not going to go away anytime soon in this country. So there you go.
That's a good final answer. Let's stop there.
I didn't get to say I'm 1 to 5% of the world.
Oh yeah, shoot.
So I want to. So this is what I want to tell you all out there watching YouTube. Only 5%, 2 to 5%, who really counts because who really cares about trans people, are transgender people in the whole wide world. Whole big wide world, billions and billions of people. So that means I am one of only 2 to 5% of moms in the whole wide world that got a trans kid. Y'all didn't get one. So I feel like, wow, it's like I got a pony when no one else got one, or I got a unicorn and no one else got one. So I've really tried to flip that. And sometimes other parents of trans kids will go, I had never thought about it that way. I said, well, you got to think about it that way, right? Everything happens for a reason. You are the cool kid in the cafeteria.
It's true. It's true.
It is.
It's true. I like that. I think that's a good little final statement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It flips the story, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. Flipping the story. Yeah.
Thank you so much for being in this video for me. I feel like it's going to be very beneficial for a lot of parents out there. I have so many parents that watch me and just are scared. But I feel like our story kind of shows that it's okay. And I don't know, I just hope it helps people.
Yeah. Final words. It's going to be okay. Just love your kid.
All it takes is one supportive person in a trans person's life to make them feel like they're going to be okay. So be that one.
Be the one. Oh, I've said that before.
You have. I took it from
you.
I stole it.
Yeah.
I copyright that or I'm taking it.
Be their one.
All right. Thank you so much for being in this video.
Okay.
I love you.
I love you too.
Thank you for everything.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Get me back. Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys did like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up down below. Make sure to say hi to my mom in the comments. If you want to see more of her, definitely let us know. I want to do her makeup. I think that needs to happen.
That would be fun. And if you really want to see me in the comments, because sometimes I am there, you will find me as Lux's mother.
Lux's mother or Pitbull Mom?
Pitbull Mom is gone because some people thought it was because I had pit bulls.
Oh, okay.
So it is now Lux's mother.
If you like this video, make sure to subscribe right down below. I post new videos every single week here on my channel. And yeah, other than that, we're going to go.
Okay.
All right, let's go have some dinner. Sounds good. Thank you so much again. We'll see you next week.
Bye everyone.